Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you with another video for your butt. So today I'm just gonna have a cool little hangout with you guys, a little chat. I'm a little tipsy already. Wanted to make this video earlier, but I got caught up with Christmas stuff. But I wanted to make a video response to a video response on the term Frankenstein set. So a lot of people could take the word Frankenstein set in different ways, and I think Mr. Mangini, he doesn't take it so well. But we all have different experiences in the hobby. We have different backgrounds. A lot of us might be very similar in certain ways, collect the same things, but we're still all unique individuals. We've all had unique experiences in the past. So I just kind of want to talk about like the experiences that I've had with the term Frankenstein set in my life, and why even translated into a hobby, I don't find it offensive. But I could understand why John finds it offensive. It's Frankenstein, it's a monster. But I've had experiences that make me not see it that way, I guess. Dylan gave his perspective, so check out his video. And Mangini talked about it. It's always good to comment back when people ask for a comment. He asked for a comment, but I'm making a response comment, I guess. I'm going to comment back on why I personally don't find the word Frankenstein set, as a bad term in the hobby. Reason number one, this is going to go back to a golf story, I guess. Because when it was like 2000, I was working at a high-end country club. And my first job every morning was to change the cups, change the pins on all the greens. So they taught me the first day how to do it, and I picked it up like that. They were very impressed how good I was at changing the cups without scalping them. So they gave me that job, and a couple of days into it, I was getting complaints about my pin placement. Well, I had no idea about pin placement. I never played golf. So my boss was like, hey, you need to start playing golf so you understand these complaints and understand pin placement and stuff. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'll take it on, just for the job. But one problem is that I didn't have clubs, and I was making $7.50 and could not just afford to buy a complete set of clubs. But luckily, I did work at this high-end country club, and what I had witnessed since I started was that a lot of these members would just throw their clubs. Because that was also part of my job. They would throw their clubs into the lake, onto the trees, bushes, ivy, whatever, and we would have to retrieve them and turn into the lost and found. But they almost never got reclaimed. A lot of these guys were just very well off, more power to them. So when they would hit a bad shot with the club, they would chuck it and get rid of it and not go back for it. They'd rather buy a new one than use that club that they had a bad shot with, because no era el mono, era el palo. That's what they're thinking. So they just go buy a new one. So I started putting together a Frankenstein set. But, these Frankenstein sets I was getting, that's how I got my pitching wedge. I was putting them together with high-end clubs because they were from high-end members. When I would go golfing on my days off or after work, which I did get addicted to golfing, I would go to courses that were like $8, around. This was a long time ago also. So I would play with other people who were like in the $8 range, which was like pretty ghetto. And a lot of people, I met almost everybody back there really, that I was meeting in my price range of golfing. They had a lot of Frankenstein sets, but the difference was that they put together their clubs at thrift stores, yard sales, garage sales, vintage, whatever, stuff like that. So they had like really low end Frankenstein sets, but mine was a high end. Like everything I had was Callaway, Titleist. I had all the best, the ping. So my set was like pretty awesome. So I always had like the title, basically the best Frankenstein set. And so with that, I can never find it offensive, and it was pretty dope. So that was just one experience why I don't have a negative thought about a Frankenstein set. Another one is the liquor store by my house every around Halloween where I used to live before. They would have the specials called Frankenstein 6 pack, Frankenstein 12 pack, Frankenstein 24 pack case, where you could put together. They would have this fridge and everything in the fridge. You could put every beer together, one of each, to make a 12 pack, a 24 pack, a 6 pack, whatever. And that was called like a Frankenstein pack. So that was like the greatest thing. So if you're going to a party or you're whatever you're getting having to get together, you go together. Everybody gets to pick. You know, if some guy wants 4 beers of this, some guy wants 3 beers of this, and you put them together and make a 24 pack, a 12 pack. The Frankenstein pack, that was a great special on Halloween. Oh, I have a good experience with that. You know what I mean? And then when some people in the hobby, say Shane, Shoebox Legend, sorry, just put your name out there, but he has a Frankenstein set where he's putting together like all the buybacks. So the buybacks are for many different years. So he's putting the set together, which is like the Frankenstein set. That's what he calls it also, and I love that name. But all the cards are from different years. They're all different years. So when you put them in a binder, uh they're not all the same. It's a Frankenstein set. And and I love it. I thought that's a great idea. So the whole point of this just is I have no problem with the term Frankenstein set. I think it's all love. I think it's all good. I love it. But I can see why John has a problem with it. And like I said, this is all perspective. That's the great thing about the hobby. Like I said, you could collect the same, but you're still different. And as long as you respect everybody's differences, it's all good. I don't know. I'm trying to get preachy. I'm starting to get preachy because I'm drunk. But anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. But that's my perspective. The way I see the term Frankenstein set. Right? Love the hobby. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever. I see my dog's trying to get in. Ciao. I am not a monster.